Isn't it really, really boring to have to pull out the physical Bible, sit down in a chair, and actually read it? Especially when you have your cell phone sitting in your hand or a computer sitting right in front of you? Well, stick around and watch the rest of this video because today we're going to be talking about how to study the Bible online. So today we're going to be talking about how to study the Bible online. And believe it or not, probably about 10 or 15 years ago, this used to be a really controversial issue. A lot of pastors really didn't like this idea of studying the Bible online or using mobile apps, apps on your cell phone, Bible apps on your cell phone to study the Bible. And there are some pastors who kind of straggle along these days, and they're like, well, that's not the Bible, that's a cell phone. You need to pull out your real Bible and read it. And so, it used to be a really big issue, but it seems to be dying down now because pastors themselves are actually starting to use tablets and iPods and iPhones and whatever stuff they have, a mobile device, basically, to read the Bible from the pulpit and to teach from it. So it's becoming more and more accepted. And I'm not saying that because pastors are using the internet that you should be using the internet to study the Bible. That's not the logic that I'm using here. What I'm saying is that the internet is a heck of a lot better. It's a better resource to use, or rather there are better resources on the internet to use rather than just pulling out the Bible and reading it. Because back in the olden days, you used to have to have books after books after books after books. And obviously, as you can see behind me, I know something about having books after books after books after books. And, while it looks really cool on video, in reality, having, sitting on a desk and having a book after a book after a book after book and having them overlap each other and this one's open to this page, that one's open. Guys, it's so much easier just to click a button on your computer and say, I want this book, and have that page open, and that's it. Hit the exit button out and open up a new book, or have 4 or 5 open up in different tabs. So much easier. So I know something about studying the Bible. I've spent my whole adult life studying the Bible. I have degrees in this stuff. I'm working on my PhD right now. And so I know a little something about studying the Bible. But before we get too far into this video, I just want to take a couple of seconds, about 20 seconds actually, and tell you about my YouTube channel and why I think you should subscribe. First of all, this is a Bible study channel. And what we do here is study the Bible because we take the Bible seriously and we seriously study the Bible. So if you are looking for a Bible study that's online, that's absolutely free, you just found it and you can go ahead and click subscribe. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, my name is Adam Jordan Clark and I publish a brand new video every single day. So what we do here is we talk about the Bible, we study the Bible, and today just seems fitting to talk about studying the Bible online. This is actually something we've never, ever talked about here. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to study the Bible online by using a couple of sources and how to Google it. So we're just going to start out with Google and just kind of go through the whole process and kind of show you how to do it if you don't know how to study the Bible online. And everybody has their own way of doing it, but we're just going to take a generic approach because there are thousands of tools that you can use. So we're going to focus on some free tools that you can find just by Googling stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Google has to say. We'll come up here to Google and we will type in the book of Romans and see what happens. And we get a Wikipedia page. We'll open that up. First thing that comes up is Bible study tools. If you can see that there, we're going to click that one open. Another one is Bible Gateway. That's the third website listed on the Google, as George Bush called it, George W. Bush. So we'll open that one up as well. And then as we scroll down here, we have insight.org. I don't know them. We have bible.org. That's important. That's a good resource to use. And that's pretty much it. We'll actually that'll be it for now. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wikipedia. Now, look, I know that Wikipedia is very controversial, and technically speaking, if you're a college student or a seminary student, you should never cite Wikipedia because it's not a credible source. However, some of the information in Wikipedia is reliable. And how do we know that? Because we can scroll down to the bottom of Wikipedia and look at the bibliography, and we can see who they're talking about, who they're referring to. And so, they got F.F. Bruce in here. They got James Dunn in here. These are renowned scholars that have been around for quite some time. They got Moo in here. So whoever wrote this, knows their stuff. They got the preface to Luther in here. And so here's some other references. Okay, so obviously we got some legit stuff. There's obviously some external links here, external links that you can go and look at as well. So sometimes Wikipedia is a good resource to start out with. So don't be afraid to look at Wikipedia. And it also sometimes it gives you a really good overview. So for example, when you're reading the Bible, you need to know what book you're reading. That's number one. And number two, you need to know who wrote that book. And Wikipedia is a great place to find it. For example, we scroll down here to authorship and dating. Mostly all the Wikipedia pages that talk about the Bible are always going to tell you about the author and the date. And basically, the scholarly consensus is that Paul wrote the Epistle to Romans. And that's definitely true. That's a true statement. And what's great about Wikipedia is there's a footnote. We can hover over it. It says, that's what it says. And it's actually by Ehrman, so that's interesting. So that's one of the resources that we can use when we study the Bible online. Bible Study Tools is another great website. And this is a website that just has so much information. You have commentaries on here. You have, you can click up here. You have Bible references, Bible studies. You can look at different pastors. We have concordances on here, dictionaries, encyclopedias, lexicons, apocryphal books, Bible stories. I mean, this is just an amazing free online source. You don't have to have an account. You don't have to sign up. You can just use it just like I'm using it here. And there's different tools. You want devotionals, inspirations, videos. I mean, all kinds of amazing stuff. And so when we just type in the book of Romans, this is what comes up. This is a summary. It tells us generally what the book's about. It says this summary of the book of Romans provides information about the author and the dating and writing, and it's going to tell us about the author. It's Paul. It's going to tell us about the writings. About 57 is what they're saying. The recipients, most people think it was some church in Rome, and the theme is about the gospel and defending the gospel. Here's a supposed purpose and the occasion. And so you get the point. It tells us about the content. There's an outline in here as well. So the whole book is outlined by chapter. And so we get a lot of information here just from this one resource. This is just one website. All we had to do was type it in on Google and Shazam. We just found out a whole lot of really good information about the book. Here's Bible Gateway. And I exit out the as much of the advertising and stuff as I can. But this is Bible Gateway. I'm sure you're familiar with this source. This is pretty much all the translations you could ever want. I mean, we have the Amplified Bible, the Common English Bible, the ESV is in here, the New American Standard is in here, the King James is in here, the Living Bible is in here, the Message is in here, the NIV, the NLT, the New King James, and on it goes. And then we have different languages. I mean, there's just a billion translations. Not really a billion, but there's a lot. So there's a lot of translations on Bible Gateway. And it gives us the entire book. And when we want to navigate this website, it's really easy because they give us arrows, and we just click it and we can go to the next chapter. And so we can read chapter after chapter after chapter. And what's really amazing about Bible Gateway is that we have a little audio button. So if we want to listen to audio Bibles, we can click that button and an audio version of the Bible pops up. Another great feature about the Bible Gateway is the button of parallels. When we click this button, we are able to have another translation pop up on the right-hand side where we're able to compare translation. So on this side, we have the New International Version, the NIV. And then on this side, we have the King James. If we want to change it, we can just go ahead and change it. We can also change this one. And if we want to add another parallel, we can click the button again and add another parallel. The last source that we have is the Bible.org. And this is a great website because most of the time, if you look at the right-hand side of your screen, you can see the author who wrote this article and when it was published. And generally speaking, most of the people who publish on this website are people who have master's degrees. They went to seminary, they're pastors, or they're theologians, or they're scholars. And so you end up getting really, really great technical information. So if you want to, what you can actually do is you can go to the Bible Gateway website or the Bible Study Tools website, or if you want to use Bible Hub, you can go to Bible Hub and pull up the real Bible, And if you want to learn some information about the Bible, like who wrote it or the date or whatever, you can go to Wikipedia and just get a general summary. And if you're really concerned about the information, or you're kind of having some trust issues where you're like, I don't know how reliable this is, you can always go to Bible.org and talk to those people or find some articles on there. Again, most of the stuff on Bible.org is written by people who have master's degrees or PhDs. So these are credible people who really know what they're talking about. And in the area of the Bible, that's really what you need to do. It's not just about asking your pastor at your local church about what he thinks. It's really about going into scholarship and going and finding people who have master's degrees and finding people who have PhDs, finding real scholars and saying, what do you guys think about this stuff? Is this information really reliable? What do you guys have to say about it? And you just go from scholar to scholar to scholar to scholar, because these are the real experts. And, it's always a good idea to go to the real experts. I like to tell people this. You wouldn't let somebody who's just claiming to be a doctor do open heart surgery on you. You want to know that that's a real doctor who has a real degree, who has real experience with heart surgery before you let him work on your heart. Same thing's true with the Bible. You shouldn't be trusting people who are saying that they have degrees when they really don't. You shouldn't be trusting people who say they have experience when they really don't. You got to go find some real experts, and you got to listen to real experts and what they actually have to say. And you got to compare the data for yourself. You just can't blindly believe stuff. In the words of Jesus, it's the blind leading the blind. How long until we all fall into the ditch? My name's Adam Jordan Clark. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below and tell me something interesting or maybe a really cool story. And don't forget to subscribe, because I publish a brand new video every single day. My name's Adam Jordan Clark. Thanks for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next video.